Today, we are beginning with the question that nobody actually tends to answer well enough, which is, what even is herbalism? Not in the dictionary sense or even in a clinical sense, but in the living, breathing, toes and roots in the soil sense. Because herbalism is not the study of herbs, it is the study of people in relationship with the earth. If you have ever tried to learn herbalism by memorizing a list of plants that are good for anxiety or good for digestion, or which herbs will help me sleep, what herbs will get rid of this cough, then you've probably noticed that you've tried to commit all of these lists to memory only for none of it to stick. And that is because herbalism is not a vocabulary quiz. It is an entirely new language and skill set that you have to learn through experience. I mean, imagine learning your best friend through a list of bullet points. Oh, Sarah likes sarcasm. She hates lima beans, and her favorite color is blue. Oh, Richard hates bats, but he loves pizza, and he's not a sports person at all. That's not knowing a person. That's basic, quite irrelevant data collection that you're never going to actually use. Most modern herbal education stops at the data level. This is where traditional herbalism differs, because we begin with relationships built solely on experience. Herbalism is a beautiful, intricate art of noticing and relating. We notice how our body behaves under different stresses and environments and different physiological inputs. We notice how plants behave in different environments and different weather patterns. We notice the patterns in people, in seasons, in symptoms. And then we relate all of this into one big, multifaceted, brilliant system. See, herbalism is not about seeing plants as passive ingredients. They are not passive ingredients to be used up in a one-size-fits-all mentality. Plants and herbs are living creatures with distinct and important personalities, just as different as every human being's personality. I mean, mint doesn't behave the same way chamomile does. Ginger does not act like burdock. Passion flower definitely does not act like ginseng. So, herbalism is learning how to listen to these plants' tendencies, to their own tendencies, to their energetics and to our energetics, to their quirks and their talents and our own needs. Skullcap does not work because you've memorized that, hey, skullcap works for anxiety. No, whether you memorize that that's what it's for or not, skullcap will still be skullcap. Skullcap works because it relaxes a nervous system that is firing off in a twitchy, frayed out system of wires on fire in an overreactive way that just needs a gentle hug. And once you understand that pattern, skullcap becomes obvious. You can feel it, you can taste it, you can know it on a deep and personal level. Everything humans have ever known about healing and about plants and about medicine, we have learned by paying attention to said plants and to our own bodies and to the animals in the forest and how they interact with different plants. Herbalism is not a trend, and it never has been. It is the oldest form of medicine known to man, and on some levels, yes, even animal kind. It is hundreds of thousands of years of trial, error, observation, and adjustments, of sacred noticing and detailed note-taking passed down through generations of humans because someone at some point decided to care. Herbalism today sits in the precipice of two worlds. There is the science of plant chemistry, and there is the wisdom of lived experience. Some people will try to separate them. You can either have modern medicine or you can have an holistic approach. But why? See, I have never, and I never will be, the kind of person who wants to separate them. This isn't about tradition or modern chemistry. This is about a functioning system. It's about both. It's about how they work together. Because chemical constituents do matter, but so do the soft, gentle realizations that can't be explained under a microscope. Why does smelling lavender help to calm you down before it ever hits your bloodstream? Why does the smell of apple pie bring you back to your favorite childhood mornings with your grandmother? Why does tea, prepared with intention, taste and work so much differently than tea that is prepared in a rush or without adequate care, even if it's the same exact recipe? Why do some people melt under the calming influence of chamomile, while others will get extremely agitated? Why do some people absolutely adore valerian root and the way it tastes and smells, whereas others just want to crinkle their nose and run away at this slightest thought of valerian? Can you tell I'm one of those people? These are the things that herbalism is actually made of. Experience, knowledge, integral connections, and patterns. Herbalism is an embodiment. It is not a system of theoretical practices. Herbalism lives in your heart, in your soul. It lives in all of your senses. It is the taste of a bitter plant on your tongue. It is the feeling of a warm herb spreading through your chest. It is the moment that you notice your hands are getting cold when you're tired and your energy is depleted, or that your eyes are drying out because you feel so stressed. You cannot learn herbalism from a book. You can get ideas, you can understand some theory, but you cannot learn herbalism from a book. You must learn herbalism first by learning yourself. Your tissue states, your tendencies, your patterns, your constitution. Once you understand this, then you can understand why and how you react to the different plant allies that you introduce to your life and your body. And this is where we start to notice energetics at play. Energetics is the language underneath every herbal action and physical reaction. Energetics explains why one herb, such as our example of chamomile earlier, will do amazing things for one person, and yet not so amazing things for another. It'll explain why yarrow can help one person, but drastically hinder or potentially harm another. And why a cooling herb can help one headache, but then make another one worse. Or why ginger warms and moves your body, while marshmallow will moisten and soothe your tissues. And if we look at herbalism as a language, then we can look at energetics as the grammar of this language. This is how plants communicate their gifts and their personalities in a clear and concise way. It is extremely important moving forward to know herbalism does not treat diseases. It does not mask symptoms. It does not heal symptoms. It does not treat pieces. It supports people. It works with the whole system, the whole story, the whole context, the whole body, which is why I call the system of herbalism that I teach you the total body approach. Plants are not here as a pop a pill, fixin' it thing, forget that it ever happened situation. Plants are here to, over a extended period of time, gently and efficiently restore patterns to the human body, not to suppress symptoms. They encourage the body to move back towards its natural harmony and embrace homeostasis instead of forcing an order onto the body. So if you leave today with even just one understanding, let it be this: herbalism is the art of working with plants in a way that honors their personalities and your patterns and the relationship between the two of you as a whole. This is not a craft you can memorize. This is not a list of data to integrate into your brain and hope that it sticks. This is a craft that you grow into, that you never stop learning and developing. It is a lifelong journey, and it is something that is lived, tasted, sensed, felt, and becomes a layer of every part of you. And that is where we all must begin, with true, authentic, and intentional integration, listening, trusting, and note-taking based on experience, not what we are told to believe and told to trust.